You are entering E&C's Pod of Awesomeness.
Here we are, Birdman.
Here we are.
Big week. There was the All-In show, which was a massive success. Yeah. And I will be completely and brutally honest that I didn't get to see it yet, except for the match that involved one of our participants of this week, the women's Four Corners match.
Yeah, and that's probably because, and I'm actually going to take your side on this one for once. I'm not going to try to bury you to make myself look good. You've been working pretty hard the last couple weeks, full days. When I say full days, I mean like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. 4
a.m. to 8 p.m. here.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I didn't mean 2 hours. I meant like 20-hour days. But regardless, you've been busy. So, but when I did mention that I thought the women had a standout match at All In, and we've been meaning to get Chelsea on the pod for a while and also to annoy the shit out of Zack Ryder, it just seemed to make sense this week.
It all fell together, Birdman. It was serendipitous. It was one of those things that it just made sense.
Yeah.
So excited to have her on, talk to her about where she started out in Vancouver, out in the Couve.
Yeah,
and
Canadian.
Getting damn drop kicked in the face in Japan all the way to her experience at All In. And for some reason, dating.
Oh, seriously, what's up with that?
I have no idea, but we'll get into that. Not too much, though, because I want to talk about her and not that
nitwit. Yeah. Nitwit is an underrated barb.
It is.
That is.
Oh, barb is underrated too.
Yeah.
Good for you, Bert.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm drinking this La Croix sparkling grapefruit drink right now. So I don't know if that's quite like the yerba, but it's seemingly got my mind refreshed.
On fire. It's got those synapses firing, and you're there. Yeah. Beth drinks that too. It's nothing like the yerba. It's nothing like the mate. It's nothing like the goo.
Nothing like getting that goo, brother.
Hey, did I hear I don't know why, but did Shaq on his podcast talk about us talking about the goo down our throat or something? I have no idea. Mega Matt will have to look that
He's up on all this stuff.
Yeah, he knows all that stuff.
I didn't hear about that, but I'm going to check now.
Yeah, I heard something about it because he was weirded out or something.
Let's be honest. If it doesn't have anything to do with me, I don't really pay attention to it.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, whatever. So, but the good news is you might get home this week.
Yeah. It's looking like a last-minute trip to get home. It might only be for 2 days, but I don't care because that's what you do when you're dad. You got 48 hours. You spend
get home,
16
brother.
of them flying home.
Yeah,
and So
I'll tell you something funny. You'll appreciate this. So we're driving.
Well, hold on. I might not.
No, you will.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with me, so you'll like it.
Okay, good.
I'm driving in my car, and my daughter Isla's in the back seat, and she loves listening to music when we drive. Yeah. So I said to her, Isla, do you want to listen to music? She said, yes. I said, well, what do you want to hear? And she said, Seashell Sanctuary by The Cult.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
But she called it Seashells Sanctuary, not She Sells Sanctuary.
Even better.
Which was even better. And so I was like, all right. So I put it on, and when the drum kicks in at the start, I started pretending I was playing drums. And I look back and said, she's pretending she's playing drums, and like she just wants to listen to She Sells Sanctuary on a loop. She loves The Cult. So, which was my favorite bit. She's rocking out. But it was just so funny out of the blue. Like, just randomly, she wanted to hear Seashell's Sanctuary by The Cult, which I thought was pretty funny.
That is amazing. So I do appreciate that story,
Yeah.
even though it kind of involved you. But that is such an upgrade from Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
At least,
well, she
at least
knows
in my
now, because
eyes.
when she gets in my car, she says, there's no Lady Gaga in Daddy's car. I was like, that's right. She knows. So
There's
she says it every time.
Boys.
Every
There's
time she gets in.
NSYNC.
There's actually not a lot.
Block.
I mean, that's more for my public persona that people think I like that kind of stuff. But I mean, I don't mind it. but it's not my main stuff I jam to, bro.
When in reality, it's usually yacht rock.
Yeah, easy listening.
Christopher Cross and Krista Berg. The Chris's.
Oh man, you'd be impressed with my iPod. I had a pretty sick iPod.
Well,
yeah,
we'll see. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You have an iPod?
Well, what do you whatever? The music thing on your phone, I still call it my iPod. The music app, it's still an iPod to me.
Oh, that was great. He just dropped
the iMusic, whatever it is on my iPhone.
Head.
I still call it my iPod. I keep some things old school. Yeah.
Yeah. So a good week, Birdman. Get to go home. You're listening to Seashells Sanctuary. Isla's rocking out in the back, drumming away.
Yeah.
This week, happy 72nd birthday to Freddie Mercury.
I saw you put that little thing out there about Kiss too, right? Was the Unitard, or was that Freddie Mercury?
No, the Unitard. That was Freddie Mercury.
Oh, okay.
And yes, Kiss can pull off a unitard, and yes, there are a few people that might be able to pull it off, but not like Freddie.
No.
And I had to, because Freddie Mercury is by far my favorite rock vocal, my favorite vocalist, period, of all time. And Queen is one of my favorite bands. Like, I hate to do the list thing, but Queen's in the top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe,
classic,
maybe top 5 anyway.
Classic Queen. Classic Queen. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway. Big
Just
week.
think about.
Oh, it's a big week this week, brother.
I was about to go down.
Let me tell you something right now. I was in Chicago, brother. Oh, I was in the windy city, brother. Oh, the winds were blowing. The winds of change were blowing, brother. They wanted Paul's package win. And when I walked up at Sears, I was hiding behind the door, brother. Oh, I was waiting for them to come up. I was waiting for them to open that big bay door, brother, to wheel that ring in. Oh, I wanted to roll the whole team up. I wanted to get the whole all-in experience. I wanted to roll them all up and come out the grand champion, brother. Oh.
There he goes. He wanted to be the grand champion?
Yeah, I guess he wanted to beat all the champions. And he was at Sears. I think he was in the wrong place.
Yeah, I don't think he went to it was the Sears Center. It wasn't Sears.
Yeah.
Was he going to order some Sears suckers?
I don't know what he was doing. He was at Sears.
I just feel like throwing in Sears again. Wow. Well, there you go. Some might say that Paul Smackage is the grand poobah.
Yeah.
There's a Flintstones reference for you. The Royal Order of Water Buffaloes.
Was there? I don't know if there was a small package on All In. I didn't watch all of it.
I didn't either, and I'm going to sit down because it's huge, man.
It was. I mean, obviously,
these guys, just had a vision and went, "Wait, this can be done.
Yeah,
this can be done. You just need to actually visualize it first, and then just."
Will it into reality? Yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, the what they accomplished can't be overlooked, right? There was over 10,000 people. I know the goal was 10,000, but I think the final number was 11,000 and change, I believe. But either way,
even if the number was 5,000, who cares?
It's still huge.
Success.
Yeah. But I mean, the fact that, like I said, it was a risk to even put it out there. And we talked to Cody a while ago on the podcast. If you haven't heard it, go back and listen to it. It's a great interview.
Nice plug.
At the, kind of the onset of this whole all-in phenomenon. And, he was talking about how big of a project it really was. And maybe he didn't even realize how big it was going to be and how hard it was going to be getting into it. But to see them stick it out the way they did, and, looking at the presentation, they were even getting a pre-show on WGN America, which is huge. And having that lead into the pay-per-view, like, that's big-time stuff. Mm-hmm. And the presentation of it, I mean, it looked professional, like the big screen, the whole thing. It had a great look and feel. And honestly, something like that is it's good for the business overall and good for the talent in the business.
Yes, agreed. And then you look at the Ring of Honor New Japan show in Madison Square Garden coming up, and it's such a cool playing field now within the industry.
Yeah,
I don't know if there could, because this is different than the regionals. This is different than
it's different
WCW,
than the
ECW, and WWE.
Yeah, it's different than that. It's almost like a groundswell of hardcore fans, like them kind of clamoring for something like this for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's kind of their thing. And that's kind of what makes it special, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, too, like we've talked about, is knowing your audience. Mm-hmm. And at least from what I heard, that show had a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. You know, it had kind of an old school NWA title match with Nick Aldis and Cody. And
yeah, it was a good match. I watched it.
I didn't yet, but, you know, I heard it was, you know, just a good old-fashioned wrestling match, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, and then they had some surprise at the end and some kind of interaction with, you know, Dallas Page and some other old-time superstars, legends that came out and cornered said participants, which gave it a kind of a different feel.
And so wasn't one of them Tommy?
Tommy was in there. Tommy was in Cody's corner, obviously, because Dusty was his hero.
Yeah.
So that was
Tommy
cool.
Squeezed his large carcass onto the show.
He was in the battle royal in the opener too.
Like a blue whale, he just squeezed himself through those ropes onto the show.
Yeah.
Blue whale.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to going back and watching it. Definitely.
Yeah.
And
then you had a dream match. You know, a match with Pentagon and Kenny.
And Omega. Yeah,
which was a very good match. Obviously, we're both fans of Kenny Omega. Haven't seen a ton of Pentagon, but thought it was a good match. Also, told a good story, and you know, I really like the little things that Omega does to really make his matches different than other people's. You know, his little intricacies that he throws in there. Thought it was also a very good match.
I did get a chance this morning when I woke up. I've lost track of the days, to be honest with you. I watched the first installment of the Mae Young Classic because Beth and Renee and Michael Cole did commentary. That's not the only reason, obviously, because I'd watch it anyway. Yeah. But so I got to see the first episode of that and got to see the crop, at least some of the crop of this year's field. And it was I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the Cruiserweight Classic too. I like the tournament format. It takes me back to like the Wrestling Classic, which for those listening that was way before your time. Go back, find the Wrestling Classic, Rosemont Horizon, Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, Chicago, brother! Don't take me back.
But do you remember going to Video Zone? Is it Video Zone?
Video Zone. The video station. What the fuck you're talking about?
Video station. I'm sorry. Jesus. Video station. BJ Walker and his dad owned it. If you keep talking, I'm going to kick you in the dick. All right. So, video station. And we would always go and rent the VHS and or beta. Yeah. And Wrestling Classic was a big one. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Mae Young Classic. Did you get a chance to see it yet?
I did watch it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Bert, man? What's your take? What do you think?
No, I do. I like the whole format. I thought Betty did a wonderful job on commentary. Renee is Renee is great. So it was a kind of a cool little tandem. Not tandem. There's three of them. Why do I keep doing that? Michael Cole was there too.
Well, I think it's the first time that two women have called before, so you think tandem.
Would it be a conglomerate?
A trio?
Did you call it that? Yeah, maybe a trio is better. I'm just trying to get too smart.
That's a lot of numbers, I think. More than three.
I'm just trying to sound smart, and I really am a fucking moron. But anyways, I thought the whole presentation was good. I like the look of it, the feel of it. Obviously, I love the video packages that give a little background on all the competitors and that sort of thing. So, I really liked it. I thought, I thought all the first matches that we saw were all pretty well done.
I mean, you can tell some of the girls are obviously like this is the first time they've been on this kind of stage, and they're green and they're.
But they need to get on these stages to grow as performers. And
nowadays that's the only way to eventually do it. Because there isn't really as much. Back to the regionals, there's not those places to get groomed.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked that MJ Jenkins.
I was going to mention her, man. I really like stuck out.
Yeah, I think that she's got
way.
Yeah. I think I like her personality. I like her poise. Obviously, like I said, you could tell that with some seasoning, she's really going to go. go places, and she has talent. Like, she's already very talented, but imagine how much better she's going to get with more of these types of things, like the Mae Young Classic. Once she starts getting these types of matches and spotlight and being on that stage under her belt, how much better she's going to be. Like, the sky's the limit for her. I really think that she has a ton of potential, and I think she has star written all over her, to be honest.
I think so too, and once those gaps are closed and just gaps of inexperience, that's it. Because she's got a hell of a look. She looks great. She looks different. She's fun. You can tell she's confident, even though, she's green. But it just, and athletic, really, really dug her. I thought she really stood out. And Rhea Ripley, who she worked, has completely changed her look. And, went from last year, and they even talked about it on commentary, being compared to Charlotte. That's the first thing I thought last year, too. I was like, wow, she reminds me of Charlotte. Flipped that on its head and came out like Bull Nakano, like Bam Bam Bigelow, like just this wrecking ball with a completely different look, completely different presentation. And I applaud her for that because she's definitely doing her own thing now. There's no mistaking her for anyone else but Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So those,
kudos to her for realizing that too, that she was going to get those comparisons. And, it's like, I remember seeing years ago, you'd see, extra talent coming to TV to get a look, right? And they go out to the ring and they'd be dressed up like Shawn Michaels head to toe. And you just have to think, like, well, what are you doing here to stand out? I mean, the real Shawn Michaels is here, and he's one of, if not the best to ever do it. Like, we already have the good Shawn Michaels. Like, what are you going to do that's different? So it's like, it's one of those things. Like, Charlotte's one of the if not, the measuring stick as far as the women's division in WWE goes. If you want to stand out, you'd probably be best not to look. Where having people make those comparisons if you really want to stand out and be your own and do your own thing.
Well, you can't be a tribute band. You can always take elements. You can always incorporate things, but you at some point have to put your own flavor on it. You got to put your own stank on it. You got to put your own grease on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But hey, and you're talking to a guy that used to have a heart on his crotch that said "Big Ego." So I was clearly influenced by Shawn michaels, but I also knew that if I was going to go for a tryout with WWE, I wasn't going to wear that gear. I'd have to do my own thing. So kudos to her, I guess, is the point.
Yeah.
And I hear, again, I haven't seen, I wonder if people are tired of that. Like, just don't talk about it then. But Ziggy's, old Zigmeister, and Drew won the tag team championships.
Yeah, they did.
Which means, hey, and I don't know if this has ever happened before. Maybe it has. Someone listening will tweet me, and I'm going to use the nerd voice here. Actually, it did happen. It happened in 1993. I don't know if anyone's won the World Heavyweight, just WWE, just pick one of the Universal, I don't know, tag team and IC in one calendar year. Do you think?
I don't know.
That's an interesting.
Unless I've done it, I probably haven't paid attention, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good stat to have. Maybe we'll get some tweets about it, maybe a voicemail or something, or an angry email, and then Matt can read it.
Send us some stuff. Send us and let us know if that's the case or not, because I am not a good historian with that stuff.
Yeah. Not to jump back to the Mae Young Classic, but I'm going to for a second. I really like the dynamic in that Lacey Lane Vanessa Craven match too. I thought they both played that dynamic up really well, and I like the way that Vanessa Craven, because she's was playing kind of the bigger. Obviously, she's 6'2". She's a big woman, tall, and I thought she played her part to a T. And even when she was going after Lacey, she wasn't like trying to chase her down. She was walking after her with a purpose. She wasn't like trying to run after her, which I thought was a good little touch.
Yeah, it made it more menacing. It made it more kind of Mike Myers, Jason Voorhees type of feel, which is a good thing. Kane was a master of that, or is, Yeah, I thought, again, you can tell Lacey Lane is green and just fired up and excited. She's in her hometown crowd and all of those things. But it was a fun match. And Vanessa Craven, trained by Ron Hutchison, by the way. Yeah. And really, I mean, with that, just her measurements, just being 6'2", being as tall and big as she is, I mean, really, really stands out. Again, with seasoning and getting a chance to basically reps, just getting reps. Yeah. The more reps these women get, I mean, it's really exciting to think about how far it has come. Just in the last 5-6 years. And you can just tell there's so many more opportunities for women in the industry now because the presentation is just there. Yeah. And they're on a bigger scale now, whereas before there was only a few that could really go. Now everybody can go.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? So, we already, everybody knows we don't know what the fuck we're doing here, right? Yeah, so we got to go back to All In for a second because we're just completely
flailing blindly in a closet. We talked about we don't know what we're doing, man. We're like Martel and Jake in the blindfold match. What's happening? What?
Yeah. We talked about the Omega Pentagon match and didn't even say anything about the Jericho little deal after.
Oh, the little Jericho deal.
Little deal.
I like how you take whatever Chris does and you have to throw a condescending twist on it. The little Jericho thing there.
Yeah. No, I thought it was well done. And like
I know we just always bust each other's chops.
The thing is like it's so hard to surprise people, and he always finds a way to come in undetected. So kudos to him, and also the fact that he's a little potbelly pig, so he filled out that Pentagon outfit pretty nicely. You're
such a dick.
What'd I say?
So, but now I'm on the Instagram now at Edge Rated R, and I follow Chris, and something happened to his face. I don't know if he got popped or if the makeup infected his eye and his lip, but he looks like all fucked up.
Yeah. I also like the fact that he went to his concert in Kansas, flew straight out of that, went to his Kansas, still had the makeup on when he did his concert. I thought that was pretty cool little touch.
I'm wondering if the makeup got left on too long.
Yeah.
That was very cool. Continues that Jericho Omega deal, which is very cool. Like we've talked about, very rare that you can get an instance of kind of two generations, a la, Rock and Hogan. And I mean, there's not too many instances, but there will be at Evolution, which we talked about last week. I just clap my hands together.
You like clapping your hands, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, should we want to talk about any more of this All In thing, or what do you want to do?
I can't say much more because I didn't see. I saw Stephen Amell did a coast to coast.
Yeah,
which is
crazy bastard.
It took a bump through a table, going for an elbow drop. Let me just put this in context of what he's risking. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everyone who listens to this podcast appreciates that a guy like that loves wrestling and he just wanted to have a couple matches. But he has a multi-million-dollar show.
And he's the main
production
part of it.
That he is the star of.
Yeah.
And that many, many people depend on him to stay healthy and for these seasons to keep going. Mm-hmm. There's a lot involved in that. There's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of everything. Yet he still goes and decides, elbow drop through a table to the floor, coast to coast. I can just see CW and the bigwigs just cringing, and grinding their teeth and biting their nails as all of that's happening. So kudos to him.
Maybe next week when you've actually watched it, we'll touch on it again. But again, kudos to all those guys, to Cody and the Young Bucks and everybody involved for, doing something that's never been done before. So congrats to them and all the success. It was unbelievable thing for the fans, for the talent, and for the wrestling business as a whole. I think it was a good thing. So again, congrats for them for putting on a successful, huge show.
Mm-hmm. Now, should we get to one of the participants on that show now?
We should. So, Edge.
Yes.
Our X-Bar. They want to build things the right way, and that means, help you with your flabby moves. See, our X-Bar believes in the power of transparency and lets the core ingredients do all the talking, with all of them listed on the front of the packaging.
Some would say you're built like a bag of yogurt, so you should start eating these. I mean, you'd likely recognize RX Bar at shelf. They're the ones who have egg whites for protein, dates to bind, nuts for texture, and other delicious ingredients like unsweetened chocolate, real fruit, and spices like sea salt or cinnamon.
The adult bars, well, they come in 14 delicious flavors such as peanut butter chocolate, chocolate sea salt, blueberry, mixed berry, and coconut chocolate. I like that one. I like coconut a lot, brother.
And this works out well for us since we have kids. Did you know that RX Bar also has a kid line as well? Parents expect the same high-quality, clean label nutrition for their kids as they eat themselves. We know that parents often have to compromise when it comes to kids snacking, like we do, and they wanted to provide an option that fits their modern lifestyle and nutrition expectations. The same whole food ingredients as RX Bar, just smaller and kid-friendly flavors. The texture is also softer, and the nuts are chopped up into smaller pieces. The kid bars, they come in 6 flavors like chocolate chip, PB&J, my personal favorite, double chocolate chip, and peanut butter chocolate.
Both the adult and kid bars are gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free. They have no artificial colors, artificial flavors, preservatives, or fillers. They're perfect for parents, pre- and post-workout. Ooh, breakfast on the go, snack in the office, or just keep it in your car, brother.
They're perfect for the kids as a delicious lunchbox add-in, after-school snack, throw in a sports bag for a before or after practice snack, in the car glove compartment for when hunger hits on the go, because we've all been there, stuck in traffic. The kids are screaming in the back seat. What do? You give them a kid's RX Bar.
I love these RX Bars, brother. I love all the flavors. I even like the kids' ones. I steal them into my daughter's lunchbox all the time. Ooh, they taste so good. I just can't help myself. Which one was your favorite, Edge?
I like the kids' PB&J, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Right. Listen, RX Bar is offering you an exclusive pack of 6 adult bars and 4 kids bars so the whole family is able to enjoy. For 25% off your first order, visit rxbar.com/awesomeness and enter the promo code awesomeness at checkout. Now, the much better half of one, Zack Ryder, and she's obviously better than him in the ring. So I think we should get her on the horn right now, right?
You heard that, didn't you?
That was the best intro ever. Why did I not put that on loud for him to hear?
Is he sitting there? Is he sitting there stewing because he's not on?
No, he's stewing in the gym right now. I just walked out.
So he's so angry that he's going to do deadlifts, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he's got to get his pump on because he's so angry, all that pent-up anger from not being on your podcast.
And what his goal was like, I saw that he had some goal like 1,000-pound deadlift or something, or 2,000 pound, 500, whatever.
Yeah, same thing.
So he's in there right now he's going to go in there and try it, and he's going to blow his sphincter up because he's going to try to go too heavy.
He's going to drop that O-ring.
Carry him out.
Yeah.
Hey, and this all started because of his damn deadlifts and leg day.
Yeah.
When he didn't answer the call came and he didn't answer, and then he got mad at you. And
you guys got in a fight.
We just spoke about this morning over breakfast that we call it like our colossal fight because now he's like forever sorry about it.
Good.
Was this after I text you or before? Or we're just like randomly talking about it at breakfast, and then you got the text.
No, I got the text, and then we started talking about the colossal argument.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
How mad was he?
Oh, he was like a 10 out of 10 mad.
Yeah, this morning.
Oh yeah, it was great. Oh yeah, it was great.
It was amazing.
It was the best.
So this hits on a lot of different good things for all of us. Is that A, you're finally on the show. B, it makes him extremely angry. C, you also now get to hold that trump card over his head And I feel like we were able to supply that for you, to be able to always have that to say, hey, dickhead, guess what? This day you were an asshole.
Oh, 100%. And believe me, he'll never forget this. I will bring this up until the day we die. It's great. I love it.
I like that you alluded to the fact that you guys will die on the same day. That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that this might send him there early is the fact that he's going to have to retweet us talking about you being on the pod, because if he doesn't, then he's not a supportive boyfriend and he looks like a real dick.
Oh yeah, I know. But all of this is great. It made my day.
Yeah.
Well, and before we move on from him, because almost enough of him, right? But I do have to say, the one thing that I always say to him that really, really makes him angry is that because he's dating you, he's punching so far out of his weight class. And he gets so angry with me, and I love it.
No, I mean,
he's a very easy person to bug, though. He very easily gets angry and upset. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, you have the patience of a saint, of a man child like him who collects toys and is very, very serious about them. I'll never forget when you guys saved us over the hurricane last year. He was very scared that my daughter was going to go into his toy room and play with his toys. So he was afraid a child was going to play with the toys, which just tells you a little bit something there that's not right.
I know. Imagine in 10 years when we have kids, what's going to happen? He's going to have padlocks on that door.
And that just
be
means
the new, safe room.
Yeah.
And every kid's going to want to go in there because of that. So that'll be fun to see.
But if anything came from that week, you guys are cat people now.
And I was going to say that. This started his love for cats he didn't even know he had, and now he's obsessed with them. Look, we've got two. He just asked if I wanted a third.
Really?
Yes. He's turned into a crazy cat man.
Huh.
That I can see that. Yeah. Action figures, cats, they. Yeah.
Yeah. It might be all he has left when you smarten up and leave him.
I know. I'm going to take the cats with me. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man, he's got nothing then.
He's got his toys. He's got his chew-up, his Greg Valentine chew-up. You'll be happy that I said that. That I know something, one name of a toy.
And we'll give him one quick plug. Him and Brian, him and Hawkins have their new podcast, the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Did I say it right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it. Nailed it.
I did. But enough about him. Let's talk about you.
Yeah, we want to talk about you.
Yeah. Let's talk about me.
Yeah. Let's start at the beginning. You're from the Couve.
I know. Well, Victoria, but close enough.
Yeah. Close enough. Everybody outside of Canada won't know the difference.
Yeah, so Victoria's basically an island off of the mainland of Vancouver, right? And the only way you can get there is on a little ferry. A ferry boat.
Yeah, exactly. I live in a little bubble.
Yeah. Was that weird?
Bubble, by the way.
It's the best. I mean, I'm such an outdoorsy person. Yeah. So the island has a little bit of everything. You can surf, you can snowboard, you can do everything all in one day. I miss it so much because right now I'm in Orlando and I've got none of that. My only form of entertainment outside is theme parks. So it's the opposite of what I grew up with. Yeah. But it's nice to live in Orlando in the heat and do that stuff, and then come home to Victoria and appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is a huge cultural shift there. It's you got to take him up there, man. He'll be blown. I don't know if he'd appreciate.
He's been there before,
has he? Yeah.
Yeah. He's been there twice with me, and I took him on my mini hike. Like normally, I'll go on a maybe 2 to 3 hour hike. I took him on about a 20-minute hike. He complained after 5 minutes. Like he did not understand why I would want to walk uphill to look at a view. He couldn't fathom it.
Such a strange man.
He's a weirdo.
Okay, so how's all this start? How's it all kick off for you? What is it that you see? What is it? That's usually, we always talk about what was the flashpoint for you when it came to wrestling, and what hooked you and what caused you to go, right, this has got to happen for me.
Well, in elementary school, I used to attempt to watch wrestling with my sister around 3rd grade, and my parents wouldn't let me. They never let us, so we always had to sneak upstairs to watch wrestling. So that only really lasted about a year of watching it, and quickly everybody was like, oh, it's fake, it's not cool anymore. So I didn't watch wrestling growing up basically at all. I went to one house show in Victoria, because really in Victoria there's nothing to do. So when a show comes to town, whether it's wrestling or whoever it is, we're all there. So I went to one house show for fun, didn't think anything of it. Fast forward to I was about 23 years old, going to school in Calgary, Alberta. And I was procrastinating, doing my homework, and on the TV it came Raw. And I never had watched wrestling after 3rd grade. And Raw was on TV, and I saw the women's match, and I kind of stopped and I started watching it. Started doing my homework, and I'm like, man, I think I could do that. And my sister's thinking, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look, watch this. I bet you I could do that. That drop kick thingy, that thing that she just did, I'm sure I could do that. So I start Googling, and I'm not joking, and it's so embarrassing. I Googled how to be a WWE diva. And you know what the first thing that came up was? Lance Storm's school. And I continue to dig deeper and deeper. And Lance Storm's school was 10 minutes away from my house.
Oh, wow.
So within that first week of Googling how to be a WWE diva, a week later, I was in the ring. I paid him the full tuition for 3 months. And I'm just like, you know what? YOLO, I'm going to try it. I had never even been that close to a wrestling ring. I didn't know what a suplex was. The only thing I knew was Trish Stratus and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was it. That was how little I knew about wrestling and what I was getting myself into.
Well, obviously you didn't know what you were getting yourself into because you went to Lance's school. I mean, if you dug a little deeper, you could have found something better, but I mean, it was close.
In case you don't know, Jay has this long-standing, like, if Lance is mentioned, he somehow has to take a dig at Lance, even though Lance has a proven track record.
No, he's great. I'm just kidding. He's my lackey.
I love it.
Yeah. Chelsea knows. I've had these conversations with her before where I've made fun of Lance. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing new.
So you go to Lance. How crazy is that, by the way, that you do a Google search and it just so happens you're in the city where Lance, who is probably trained, more women wrestlers than I think anyone probably, and he's 10 minutes away.
I know, and I think that really is the only reason why I ended up actually following through with it, because I felt like it was fate. I'm like, there's no way that this guy is one of the best trainers in the world and really specializes in women's wrestling. And he's 10 minutes away from my house. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I met up with him to first chat with him, he had told me that, he had trained with Mickey and Trish and Chyna and people like that. And I'm just like, I mean, I know nothing about wrestling, but I know that that's amazing. You can't deny that that's probably the best person for me to go to. But man, his school really is sink or swim. I like that. I'm in those types of situations. I think I'm good. I can usually kind of figure my way out and swim, but watching people around me in the class just sink, it was like, oh my God, it was my entertainment on a daily basis.
Let me ask you a question. You said you didn't really know much about wrestling, hadn't followed it. Obviously, you talked about being outdoorsy and hiking and those sorts of things, but you're very athletic. And so, was there other things that you did growing up that, like, because you're pretty seamless in the ring? Your athleticism is pretty apparent. So, like, you obviously played other sports and did other things, right?
Yeah, I mean, I never did gymnastics, something that I wish that I had done now that I wrestle. But I played soccer, I ran track and field, basketball, volleyball. Like, a little bit of everything. So, and I've always been someone who likes to stay in shape. So that really wasn't the problem. But I have found, as I've got deeper and deeper into this business, that my problem isn't necessarily picking up wrestling moves, but it is learning about the history and, what made this business what it is today. And that's really, for me, it's just as important to know those things as it is to know what a suplex is, because it's all about respect and you don't want to walk past someone and not shake their hand or introduce yourself, because they could be a crucial part of your journey and your career. That's really what I've learned, is this business is so small.
Yeah. And I think also too, just the odds of getting into it are small too. So it makes for a small world once you're in it, to where word can travel fast, good, bad.
Yes, yeah, and I've learned that both good ways and bad ways. And that's something that I quickly realized, because I went to Lance's school for 3 months. That's how long his training is. So I started in January, and by August, I was already cutting a promo on Raw. That's how small that world is.
Yeah. Wow.
One day you're learning what a lockup is, and the next day you're on Raw.
How'd that come about?
I was touring actually through the prairies of Canada, and I got a call from WWE saying, "Hey, we have an extra spot for you." At the time, it was Adam Rose's Rosebud. Mm-hmm. So I left the tour. I drove from, I believe we were in Saskatchewan. I drove all the way back to Vancouver. So that's like, a 2 days worth of driving.
That's a haul.
Straight to their house show in Vancouver. At the house show, I did my thing. I was a Rosebud. We came out, we danced. And at the end of the show, one of the WWE guys came up to us and said to the girl beside me, who was another indie wrestler, said, "Hey, we have a spot for you tomorrow on Raw, just a little spot, nothing crazy. It's going to be in Portland, Oregon. But it is a kind of a crucial spot. So are you okay with speaking and stuff?" And she was a very, very shy girl, but of course she's like, "Okay, sure." Well, what she didn't tell WWE was that she didn't have a passport.
That's going to hinder that.
She said, "Yeah," but I'm standing beside her. I know she doesn't have a passport. By the time I'm thinking like, what the hell?
Stooge her off. She doesn't have a passport.
I know, right? I waited, and I'm like, man, this shit better tell them, because I'm going to be so mad. I'm listening to her get this amazing opportunity. We're not sure what it is. Eventually, I get a call late that night saying, "Hey, the girl that we spoke to earlier, she doesn't have a passport." I'm like, duh. But they're like, "So we need you. Do you have a passport?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So I drove down there, didn't know what I was doing, knew that there was, some small part that they wanted. I assumed it was maybe like someone backstage beating me up. And they walked me into the office, and standing in front of me was Stephanie, Triple H, and Vince to tell me about this part that I was playing as Daniel Bryan's physical therapist.
The therapist, yeah. Man. So what goes through your mind when you when you first walked into that room? Yeah, what goes through your mind?
It's funny because everyone asks me that, but like I told you guys, like I don't know anything about wrestling.
True.
So to me, I'm walking into a room and in front of me are my bosses. I'm not looking at them as like a super fan or, I'm not terrified. I'm just like, okay, I have to be professional. I have to shake everyone's hand, look them directly in the eye like I would at an interview. So I think that probably was like if I met them now and was in that position, my knees would be shaking. I'd be stuttering because it's, I know that that's huge. But that moment for me was just, okay, I have to prove I'm ready to do this. And I just went in there, like puffed my chest and I was ready to go. Oh my God. I'm so glad that I had no idea what I was walking into.
Yeah, probably a good thing. Yeah. That served you well there. Wow. Cause, someone else in that position, that'd be a hell of a pressure cooker for them. So
yeah, exactly.
Good on you. And then, so now you do these, I guess pre-tapes. Were they pre-tapes? Or did they go live?
It was a live segment in the ring where
It was in the ring? I don't know why I thought it was backstage.
Yes.
Okay.
It was the week before SummerSlam 2014, I think, when Brie Bella and Stephanie McMahon were feuding. Mm-hmm. And I had to get in the ring and say, I slept with Daniel Bryan, and then Brie came out and slapped me, and Brie and Steph fought. It was amazing, and it was the scariest thing I've ever done. I'm sure I was sweating all the way through my shirt and my pants.
Wow. So all of that happens, and
you talk about getting thrown in the deep end too, right? Like,
yeah, my gosh,
I can't believe that they trusted some. I'm just surprised they didn't hire an actress.
Well, I guess the physical aspect, right? Because
true. Getting slapped, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. So the fact that you're tough, not that actors aren't tough, but it's a different thing, especially when you start getting hit in front of a live audience and the adrenaline and all those things. So,
and that was my first promo. Like, I didn't know what a promo really was. That was my first promo ever. Which I never told them, of course. That was my first promo ever, and I don't think I had to cut another promo after that for like a year and a half.
So how many actual matches had you had up to that point?
Oh my gosh, maybe 10.
Wow. Nice.
I mean, if that, right? Because I'm traveling through like the prairies of Canada working the same girl every night.
Uh-huh. Wow.
It was, I was thrown in the deep end for sure.
Wow. So then from that experience, obviously, you did the Tough Enough show. Did it come up because of that, them remembering you from that spot, or was it completely different?
So after that, I got every single person's contact information that I possibly could backstage. And smart. I harassed them for probably 6 months before I even got a tryout. At the tryout, there were Tough Enough casting directors there. And so it didn't really, that segment didn't get me anything except the tryout. But at the tryout, I was able to kind of show enough personality where the casting directors took me aside and we did a little Tough Enough interview. And then from then, I still had to do Tough Enough tryouts and numerous interviews. And then I still got cut from Tough Enough even before they went onto the real show.
Really?
I got cut. Yeah, I got cut from the tryout of Tough Enough. And then 2 weeks into filming, they called me and they said, we need you to pack your bags. Someone left Tough Enough and we're going to throw you in during the middle of the competition. We're going to put you in.
So now, within 2 experiences with WWE, we've had somebody else pegged for this thing, no passport. Tough Enough, somebody shits the bed. Hey, okay, we need somebody that won't. And here you come.
Yes.
Twice.
And here I come. I know. And I just kept saying, like, okay, like, don't think about the fact that you're going to go on there like a hot mess, didn't have my hair done, like had just been traveling from Alberta to BC. When they called me, I was in the middle of a road trip driving with my mattress on my roof back to Alberta, and I had to literally turn around and take my mattress off my roof, pack my bag, and head to Florida. Like, I was so not ready, but I'm like, well, here we go again. We're doing it. You know what I mean?
Where did you put your mattress?
I left my mattress at my ex-boyfriend's house. He probably still has it. I made him take it off my roof, and I was like, all right, bye. Oh,
God. I was somehow picturing you just on the side of the road, like, okay,
dump it.
See ya.
Yeah, just dump it on the side of the road and head off.
So you mentioned hot mess there. Are all of these experiences what kind of helped color and come up with this character?
Totally. Not only that, but my experience working in the bars. Oh man, like I can't tell you the things that I've seen working in the bars in Canada.
We've worked them. We know.
Right? When 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. rolls around and so many people give me the best stories. Like being the hot mess, I hear so many funny stories about people's ex-girlfriends or people that they left the bar with, and all of those stories are kind of what I base that character off of. At one point, my character had no shoes on. For 6 months, I wrestled barefoot. And that was because I remember a guy telling me, oh, it was so funny. I thought of you the other day. There was this hot mess walking out of the bar holding her shoes around her wrist. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that.
That's great.
Like, that's amazing.
Everybody's seen
just
that.
little things like that.
Yeah, and especially, and I'm going to use another Canadian term here. The Americans might have to Google this, but if there's a kerfuffle, then, you're definitely going to see somebody in bare feet.
Oh, 100%. Even in Calgary in the snow, barefoot.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's no deterrent. Are you kidding?
Yeah, right? No, absolutely not.
Oh man, that's such a Canadianism.
Yeah, it is very. Okay, so Tough Enough happens. Explain your experience there, like how you felt with that once you got on the show.
Oh man, it was tough because I went in there thinking, okay, I want this job. What I should have done, in retrospect, I should have gone in there thinking I need to be the most entertaining. But I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking they brought me on because I'm the only wrestler. I'm the only female wrestler that they wanted. They want me to show the girls that they can't wrestle and I can. So that's what I went in there and did. I won all the wrestling challenges. But I wasn't entertaining because I thought if I caused drama, WWE is going to think I caused drama. Do you know what I mean? And that wasn't the case. WWE wanted to see that you can be put like on Total Divas and you can bring in the ratings and people are going to have views on you, whether it's really negative or really positive. They wanted to see that. And I really just don't think that I genuinely brought that. I did have some like hilarious little storylines and I played them up, but it wasn't real. I didn't start cat fights with the girls like the producers wanted. And honestly, now if they put me in that situation, I would 100% do that, because who cares if for 2 months during a reality show you're labeled the bitch? I mean, look at what it got Mandy. It got Mandy a job and Total Divas and the main roster. So it was tough going in there having different expectations of what it was going to be. But I left when I got kicked off. I left and I had so many doors open for me. And I think if I didn't do Tough Enough, there's no way I would have gone to japan and Mexico and been hired by Impact and Lucha Underground. None of those things would have happened.
And, back to your point, by showing that you could wrestle, though, that helped open those doors, to those places to go, okay, well, they didn't see the drama aspect, but the other companies definitely saw that you could go. So
right, exactly. And not only that, but the coaches appreciated it. And I know that because I still have those relationships with Lita and Billy Gunn where I can call them and ask them for advice because they know that I take it seriously. They could see that.
But you're also taking initiative and getting experience in your own way, right? Like, I mean, you didn't get down on yourself. It doesn't seem after the Tough Enough thing. You just went out there and kept working hard and gaining your own experience your own way. And I think that's a pretty commendable way to do it as well.
Yeah, now I'm happy with everything that's happened. Everything has happened for a reason. And I'm glad I didn't get hired right then and there, because all the things that have come out of it have made me so much more confident in what I bring to the table.
Well, you're becoming an all-around performer now,
exactly.
in terms of presentation, in terms of character, in terms of standing out, in terms of your wrestling ability. And that's as close as you can get to, I talked about it in the intro, like kind of the territory days of already getting to WWE as a polished, not brand, but a polished thing, a performer. And that's hard to do now.
Well, it is. And especially as a female, you want to try to kind of, have your hands everywhere and be able to experience everything. And that's what I'm trying to do.
And So I want to talk about how exciting it must be right now to be a woman in the industry, but that'd be getting ahead a little bit. So you talked about Japan, and I'm sure you get asked by anybody who has ever seen it. And you know where I'm going. But the missile drop kick, heard around the world. Dude, what the fuck?
I know. And the best thing, this is why I love the Japanese girls. First of all, they're so freaking fearless, but to a fault. Like, they told me, okay, we put you in the corner and then maybe drop kick. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, whatever. No problem. I assumed they were going to whip her.
Maybe drop kick, yeah.
Yes, they always say that. Maybe, like, as if to just downplay that they're going to
it won't be bad. Don't worry. It'll be, easy.
Maybe drop kick. So I'm thinking they're going to whip this girl into me and she's going to drop kick me. Oh, my God. When I saw that clip, I thought, how the hell did I not... How do I have a head? How do I still have a head? I know. And it didn't hurt. Like, it looked much worse than it felt. That wasn't even the finish.
It was the closest thing to a decapitation I've seen in a wrestling ring. Like,
I know.
This side of it, like Stan Hansen lariat, there's certain moments where you go, oh my God, like, wow, that was one of them. Good Lord.
When that video came out and it went on, like Tosh.0 or some TV show, I didn't even know it was me at first. Someone had to tell me.
It's because you got kicked so damn hard. That's why.
I know. I knocked my brain right out of my head. I know. And honestly, I cannot believe that I took that. Never again will I trust the Japanese girls when they say, maybe drop kick.
Yeah, as soon as they say maybe, yeah. Funaki does the same thing. Everybody goes, maybe, yeah. So you go over there. Besides getting your face kicked off, how was your experience?
It was awesome. Tough, obviously, culture shock. But I travel a lot, so I like being put in different situations with different food and different cultures and everything. But man, the Japanese wrestling style is very, very different. That was something that I had to adjust to. I had to adjust to the language barrier. When you are in that ring and something happens, you can't just chat with the person. You really have to feel each other out, and that was so tough. And I was still brand new. I was only a year in the first time I went to Japan. So I really didn't even know how to wrestle still. And then was also trying to call the matches half English, half Japanese.
Yeah, that's a lot to put on your plate at that experience.
A bit of a learning curve.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. And again, it's just a sink or swim thing. Some people go to Japan, they think they never want to go back, but I liked it. I thought it was great. It put the pressure on.
It honestly reminded me of our first trip to Japan, and we wrestled a guy that couldn't speak any English, and we're in Corrigan Hall. It's our debut there. We're super excited. Place is sold out. And mind you, we'd been wrestling, about 5 years at that point. So we had some experience and we'd been around a little bit, but it was challenging, to try and, to try and make sure it's good, because you always want it to be good. And it's just good in a different way.
Yeah, and that's it, right? Even the fans are so different. Like the whole vibe of the show, of the way that everyone wrestles, everything is so different. But I like that because I also felt that way in Mexico. It was so different, but I liked it because it kind of just like gives you a bit of a refresher for when you get back to America and everything's easy. Everything seems easy once you get back to America and people are speaking English.
I mean, getting all these kind of tools to put in your belt too you can pull from little things that might necessarily stand out over here as being different as well, that you can add into your repertoire of things that you're doing over here. And it seems like you were, obviously your in-ring work was gradually and consistently getting better, and then you end up in TNA, and that's kind of where you really started to come into your own as far as being kind of having the character tie in as well as what was happening with your in-ring talent, right?
Yeah, I think that's where things started to click. I had never worked TV. I had never even worked a hard cam until I had my TNA tryout, and my TNA tryout was a live pay-per-view match. So I know, it's ridiculous. I have been thrown off the freaking highest diving board in the world into the deep end in every situation possible.
Well, clearly you're swimming when you hit the water, but man, talk
God.
about some. Okay, so go on. Sorry, I just find that funny. Okay.
I'll never forget. They said to me, they were like, "All right, so you guys are first match on the pay per view. You've got 4 and 4, and just show her where the hard cam is." And I'm like, "What's 4 and 4?" I had no idea that it meant, okay, 4 minutes and then go to a break and then 4 minutes. I didn't even know they had breaks in wrestling. I had no idea any of this. So all of this stuff, and I'm like, hard cam. I'm like, wait a second, but I'm looking at the camera, but all the audience is behind me. So how does that work? I just could not fathom any of this stuff. I barely even had gear. It was wild. But I mean, I got through it. 8-minute match. I got through it.
Well, got through it, and to the point where you became Knockouts champion. So you did more than get through it, I guess.
Yeah, I know, and which is crazy. A year later, I originally, I believe, had a 2-year contract, and then a year into my contract, I became the Knockouts champion, and that was kind of after we had really built this hot mess character up. And we really got the ball rolling with the hot mess. And then I kind of felt like the hot mess fizzled out a little bit, not because of the character, but because of the position that Impact continued to put the character in. I felt like the crowd really, really loved the hot mess, but they really weren't having me ever win or ever look strong. I kind of was always a little bit of a comedy spot. And then all of a sudden I showed up in Canada to do tapings, and they're like, "Oh no, you're winning today. You're winning the title today." And I hadn't had a match in months on TV and hadn't had a match that I had won, I don't think, ever. And then they put the title on me.
Wow, that's interesting booking.
It was very, in my opinion, something happened, and I don't know what, but something happened where, maybe one of the girls couldn't make it that was going to win. And I think that they were like, "Oh my God, well, who do we put it on where the crowd is going to get behind this person, even if it's just for taping or two?" And I think that that's why I ended up with it. But I took it and I ran with it.
Again.
Well, and that's what you
there's
do.
That trend.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, you were talking about the hot mess character and the whole thing, and like I said, people gravitating to that. And was that, like you said, pulling the experiences you had in working in bars and paying attention to people and picking up little things that they were doing? Did you already have this character in your mind when this came up, or did it just, as it was happening, you're like, "Oh yeah, I can start pulling from these bar shows and these different experiences I've had"?
So originally, my character was just a rich bitch, and I got left at the altar. And when I went backstage, so during that segment, I actually had real champagne. So I was having a meltdown for TV, but there was still a lot of things going on in front of me. So I was sitting there really drinking a bottle of champagne on TV. So by the time I tried to get up to walk out of the segment, I was drunk. I had drank a bottle of friggin' champagne to myself on TV in only 15 minutes.
Wow.
So I'm stumbling back there, and Dutch was Dutch said at the time he was producing a lot of the stuff, he said, "I just want to get a quick little post segment pre-tape thing. We don't know if we're going to air it. We're not sure." And I was like, "Okay, sure." We sat down with my bottle of champagne that I drank, and he said, your makeup is kind of weird. Let's mess it up even more. So we messed up my lipstick and we messed up my eyeshadow. And he's like, okay, do something crazy. Like, I don't care what you do. We're just going to do a minute promo. Do something crazy. So I started singing and I didn't know what to say. So then I started crying and screaming. And like, this promo wasn't a promo. It was just me being crazy. And when we aired it, oh my goodness, the amount of feedback it got was insane. And that's the reason why we came up with the hot mess character. All of a sudden, everyone's like, holy cow, this is genius. Chelsea's turned into a lunatic sitting on the floor with her dirty feet and her champagne and her smeared lipstick. Like, she's a hot mess. And when I came back for the next set of tapings 3 months later, they were like, oh, we want you to stay crazy looking like you did after the wedding. And it just kept going. We never took myself out of that. We just kept building it and making it crazier and crazier and more ridiculous.
So how did you find the live audiences reacting, and how did you start to incorporate it in terms of like a wrestling style? Because it can be hard, to incorporate a character into your style.
I did struggle with that because it's a fine line between being cheesy, being hokey, being funny, but also still coming off aggressive. And the crowd needs to believe that you might win. They don't know how. They don't care how. But
there has to be a sliver of credibility there, right?
Right. And so that's where I really struggled. And you can see if you kind of watch my matches that they start really, really hokey and funny. And I think they got behind that as a comedy wrestler. And then I tried to transition my character into more of a psycho. And I did pitch to get me out of the dress for me to turn into a split personality. And be very, very, maybe I'd come out normal, but I'd get hit in the head and turn into the hot mess. And maybe that's when I smeared my makeup and things like that. So there's all these kind of little things that we tried. And that's why at the end, when I won the Knockouts title, I was back in gear because I felt like we had gone long enough with barefoot, and the dress. Like, I needed to look like a wrestler, but I just needed to have little bits and pieces of being psycho and being a hot mess. And I think that's where the crowd came around and was like, okay, now it's not like there can be funny parts. I can trip and get in the ring, and it can be funny when I put on my lipstick, but she's still psycho and she could still probably kick someone's ass. So that's why she's champion.
And at the end of the day, it's still wrestling. And as opposed to, if it's hard sometimes, like you're wrestling in a dress and all of these things, and you become a movie character as opposed to a wrestling character, and that can be limiting because at the end of the day, it's still a wrestling show, right?
Right, and that's why I pushed really hard to do the split personality. I watched the movie Split with James McAvoy, where he has about 20 personalities, and I just thought, that's genius. I know I can do that. I pitched that one of my personalities should be a British librarian because I have a great British accent. I pitched everything. They never bit, but the crowd bit. And with social media, I was able to make, to get that over, to get my split personality over. I didn't get the British librarian thing, but I'll save that for later. That's in my back pocket.
That's the power. That's great. That's also using, like, being smart with the tools that are in front of you, like social media. You can have your TV time, but that's also getting your character out and expressing and using tools to get over in a different way.
Exactly, and that's how I was able to take that character, put it on the indies, have real matches, and put those little clips on social media so people still were behind me and I wasn't all a joke. And that really, like, the indies is what elevated that character, not Impact.
And think about once the idea is established and how many characters you, like, can come up with. I mean, because Mick had 3, right? But you could come, like you said, a British librarian. You could be on a safari in Africa, and
Exactly.
there's so many different characters.
You could be
and that's what I wanted to pitch is like, this person, if you don't know what the hell to do on TV this week, this person can be anything. I can come out dressed as a teddy bear. Like, it could be whatever you want in
you
that
could
moment.
be,
I could be good guy, bad guy.
You could be a 30-year-old that collects wrestling action figures and goes to theme parks.
I could be anything. I'll wear my Mickey ears.
Yeah.
This week she's a 30-year-old man-child
Yeah.
who collects action figures.
Yeah.
I know we can talk Lucha Underground, but in talking about the character thing and in watching All In and seeing, kind of the two-face thing that you were doing, and kind of like the inner struggle of like, will I shake? No, I won't. I very quickly understood what was happening, but also, and this isn't a knock on the other girls, but I was like, oh, she's working on a character here, which stands out, especially when you can then back it up and do a lot of the kind of Mexican inspired, arm drags you were doing and the arm work off the top rope and then, obviously, using the I'm Prettier as your finisher.
Ooh, it's a great finish.
How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I beat Jay to the punch because I knew eventually he was going to go there. He was going to subtly try and bring it up. I'm trying to make it easier.
And the name actually works better for you than it ever did for me.
Way better.
I know, and people try to get me to change it. I'm like, no, I don't want it to be anything. Like, I'm Prettier is so perfect.
Yeah, absolutely perfect name for that finisher for you, without a doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell them they're stupid. It might be a little harsh, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the All-In experience that you had, because we were talking about it before you came on, and what a big event it was, not only for talent, for fans, but for the industry. It's a big deal for them to pull, for all the talent involved to really put a show like that together. How important was it? And as far as measuring stick in your career goes, how big of a moment was that for you?
Yeah, and I did a press conference right before All In, and I said this to them. I said, man, like, collaboration is the future. We're never going to beat WWE. They're always going to be the top, the best. They just are. They've got the money, they've got the power, they've got the supplies and everything that they need to be the top dog. So why not, instead of separately trying to beat them, why can't we all come together? And like, competition is a great thing, but when we come together and put on a show like All In, it's insane. The vibes, even wrestling there, like, you could tell everyone was there for a reason, and the reason was to support independent wrestling. And it was a really, really awesome feeling. Everyone of the wrestlers were there to support each other. All of the fans were there to support each other. And I've never felt that way before. It was really, really cool. And I think that every single match on the card was one that I would have paid to see, I loved it. I had the best time. And yeah, I mean, I would have to say, out of everything I've done in my career, that was the highlight for me. That was probably the biggest moment. And I knew that going into it, but coming out of it and seeing the reaction on social media and, when I checked my phone, like, that made me want to cry. And I'm so not an emotional person, but I felt really emotional coming to the back. Like, wow, that crowd loved us, and they are there for us. They're not there to boo and to yell what every 2 seconds when you're trying to cut a promo. Like, they are there to support us, and you can feel it.
Well, and any time that an audience during a match will get up and give you a standing ovation, that's a rare occurrence, and it's a really amazing feeling. So how I mean, I'm sure you're all feeling it as you're out there, but what's the discussion like afterward when you realize like something like that has happened?
Yeah, and it was a really cool moment, like, because I hit that Canadian destroyer, and I put that in purposely, obviously, because it's the Canadian destroyer. Like, there were little things I wanted to make sure I did, and that was one of them. And just, I was, I had pinned Tessa, and she kicked out, and the ref got down on his knees, and he's like, take a minute, like, soak it up, ladies. You guys are killing it. And I, right then and there, could have started crying because I was just like, oh my God. And I'm looking around, and I wish I had taken 3 seconds longer to soak it in, even more, because, like, I've never felt that way. And they just appreciated everything we were doing. And it's so worth it. Like,
they appreciate everything you're doing because you guys were putting on a kick-ass match. You talked about all the matches being good. To me, yours was one of the best, I'd say top 2 or 3 matches on the entire show. It was that good. I thought the pacing of it, the structure of it, and I thought everybody really worked hard and played their part in the match really well. I thought it was a really, really, really great match.
Thank you. And another thing is, a lot of people came up to us after, and I don't know if I'm even allowed to say this, but asked, like, who came up with that match? Like, who was your agent? We didn't have an agent. That was the 4 of us that sat down on the bed and said, okay, write a list of everything that we each want to do. We're going to make sure every single person has a holy shit moment. And we are going to fill that 14 minutes. We're going to jam pack it with stuff so that people don't finish that match thinking, oh, that was good for a girls match. We wanted them to think, oh my God, that was so good. And they were women. You know what I mean?
Well, and here's what can be a difficult aspect with this kind of match, because it's good because you basically have carte blanche in that you can jam so much stuff in because it gives everyone time to sell the things that have been done. And it's similar to how we looked at the TLCs. It's like you could sell and just have this 16, 14 minute long just demolition derby.
Exactly.
But they're difficult to put together. They're difficult to stagger.
There's a lot of moving parts.
There's a lot of minds that need to be on the same page.
And there's no formula. There's really, you can say there's a formula, but there's no formula. And you never, especially with, for women, we want to make sure we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys are a little more abrasive, and like there's one person that's going to take the lead. Like with us, we're kind of all at the same point in our career. There's not one person that can step up and say, no, we can't do this, or we need to do this. We really we struggled to make sure that, all those moving pieces made sense and nobody was up there, or down too long or up for too long, things like that. God, I can't imagine, having to do this on Raw every week. Like, you got to really think hard.
It especially, when it can get thrown in your lap, hours before, it can be they can be really difficult. They're really, really difficult. But that also speaks to how well you all did in putting this together, because they're not easy. They're really, really not easy. And like you said, there's no formula, and there's no right, here's the paint by numbers way to do a fatal 4-way. Bullshit.
Exactly.
There is not.
Exactly.
They can be one ugly clusterfuck if you're not careful.
Yes, and everyone has their own opinion on it. And that was tough as well, hearing all the guys' different opinions on the way that it should go or the way that they've done it. It was really tough because, in that situation, you have so many good wrestlers giving you opinions. You don't want to piss anyone off, but we already knew what we wanted out of this match. We knew how we were going to kind of structure.
But also, you're looking at different styles, right? Different personalities and different takes. So just because something works for one person doesn't necessarily mean, if I do it exactly like they did it, it's going to work. It doesn't. That's not realistic.
No, exactly. And that, at the end of the day, like, we just honestly threw everybody's opinion out the window.
Good.
Because we had too much. We already had too many opinions and people in our ear, and we just needed to be true to who the four of us were and the type of match that we knew we were going to have.
Honestly, the only person that you could have listened to in that situation that would have been right would have been me, and I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. There it comes. There it comes. But seriously, it's like in life. If you have problems in life, you have a very select few. You probably have like a 3-inch space of the names that you can write in that you trust on their opinion when it comes to tackling things in real life and everyday life. The same, should be said for whose opinions you take in terms of wrestling. If there's, for instance, I grew up loving Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Those are two guys that if I go to them for their opinion, there's a reason. Or if they tell me something, I'm gonna listen. But outside of that, you can get so many differing opinions, and it's from different styles, and it's from people with different genetic makeup. So it would make sense for them, to Jay's point, but maybe not for you. And that can be very difficult too. Is when you get too many cooks in the kitchen, and it's like, whoa, okay, I can't filter through all of this. It's very important, I found, to have your tried and trues that you can go to, who have never steered you wrong, who are not trying to look out for, their ego or their opinions, and are truly going to look out for you and what's best for a match or for your character.
Exactly. And even in this case, there's going to be a lot of people, and I knew this, there were going to be a lot of people that would say, there was no story to the match, or, but you guys hit so many falsies, or Tesla kicked out of the Canadian Destroyer, but it's like, at the end of the day, but we did what we wanted, and the crowd liked it. So, I took everything with kind of a grain of salt. Like, okay, yeah, we could have incorporated more of a story.
I'm a big proponent of knowing your audience, right? You give your audience what they want. And the thing is, but there wasn't a big storyline between the four of you women going into it. So you had to make a story. So it was a competition to see who was going to win. That was the story of the match. Who was going to get that? And
I felt like at the end of the match, that's exactly what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, desperately trying to hit something or pin someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To Jay's point, if you have built-in storyline and months of backstory to be able to play off of, then in a Fatal 4-Way you can start to inject story. But that's very difficult with 4 separate talents, kind of thrown together in this thing. You have to go, all right, this is what it is. We can't, completely begin this story with 14 minutes and tell the kind of story we would want at the end of 14 minutes. It's just not possible at that time.
Yeah.
No,
so you have to treat it differently.
I honestly thought it was one of the better paced matches of the night, to be honest with you. So I think in that respect, you have nothing to worry about as far as what you were selling and those sorts of things. So that's my opinion.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, if the crowd has reacted and they're there for you guys, then it's no matter what the match is. Could be the Great Khali against Giant Gonzalez. If the people reacted and were into it, guess what? They did their job.
Exactly.
Not that your match was the Giant Gonzalez against Great Khali. And you know what? I would pay to see that match, by the way. I really, really would. Okay, so now you're currently still with Lucha Underground, correct?
No, I am free agent. I just did a couple weeks with Lucha on for their latest season, but I didn't sign anything.
Look at that.
You're out there.
She's a free agent. She's out there, Jerry.
I am a free agent.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you will know this, actually, that generally speaking, what happens with this show is when people are on it, they get rocket strapped.
Look at Drake Maverick last week. Just saying.
Look at Drake Maverick. Now he's got these two big badasses surrounding him, and he's wearing a vest, and he's looking all Drake Mavericky. Drake Maverick.
If I had 8x10 of Drake Maverick right now on my desk, and I had a giant stamp that said rocket strapped, I would stamp it really hard.
Yeah,
and throw it to the side. Officially rocket strapped.
Did you guys see his latest picture that he just posted, where it shows AOP's head and then just like the top little spike of his hair because he's so short?
No.
That's great.
We've got completely lucky. It just seems that the next week something happens. So here's what we're saying,
Perfect.
Chelsea Green.
Well, I'm going to hold you guys to that.
Yeah, you're about to get rocket strapped here. Once the people hear this, it'd be like, whoa, she's a free agent. She's a hot mess, but she's a free agent.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Well,
and for some reason, is dating Zack Ryder. He's probably still deadlifting, by the way.
Yeah.
Just this whole time.
He might be chalking up.
He's probably listening and going, oh, they're laughing a lot.
What are they laughing at me for?
Oh, 100%.
He's going to ask you the whole drive home. What were they talking about? What do they want to know?
Oh, yeah.
Weirdo.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's a good time for you to be a free agent because obviously I think your stock continues to rise. I think you're ultra talented. I think you're, the sky's the limit for you. You can go as far as you want to, and that's not a lie, brother. Sister. Sister.
Well, thank you. Hopefully after, after this match, I prove to a few people that, I can hang.
Yeah.
I think you did. I think you did. I think you all did. We should let you get back to him now because I'm sure he's going to be upset and he's taking off his knee wraps and he's taking off his cardio weight belt and
he's taking off his fake beard and mustache. He looks like he has a fake beard and mustache. It looks fake.
I know.
Anyway.
But I see it up close.
Yeah.
It's got some orange in it.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Go. But thanks for coming on the show. Exciting times for you. I'm looking forward to see where everything goes, and wish you all the best from us, from the Rocket Strappers. And looking forward to seeing
me, guys. I'm going to give you guys a 7-day deadline, and something better happen for me.
Ooh, gosh, can we give it like 30 days?
Yeah, we might need
30.
Yeah, it's like a month.
30?
It's like a month.
She doesn't have that kind of time.
No, she doesn't. But the longer it builds, the bigger the propulsion. You see what I'm saying?
I'll give you guys 30.
It could be in as little as 48 or as many as 30.
Okay.
That's kind of the time frame we're working with here.
48
Trust us, Chelsea.
Yeah,
Trust us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for taking the time. Really appreciate it. And again, congrats on the amazing match you had this past week at All In, and continued success to you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Talk to you later. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
And, she's fun.
She's a fun person. Yeah. Great
very,
person.
Very fun. You can tell that in her character. And I really like her work. I really do. She's polished, especially for the amount of experience she has.
I mean, she just keeps getting better, and that's scary because she's already really good. And she's well-rounded. And I like the fact that she gets that she needs to be well-rounded to really have that connection that we've talked about so much in the past. And also from a personal level, I know her. She's a genuinely a good person. And, so I'm really happy for her success because, she deserves it.
Well, she's been working 4 years. I mean, she's good.
Yeah.
And just imagine like after 8.
I know.
And like we talked about, getting those reps.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised she's not in the Mae Young, but I think she could also sidestep that and go straight to Raw or SmackDown or what have you, but or NXT.
Yep.
But I do want to quickly mention, because we talked about Lance as a trainer, and if you think about it, like truly in terms of women's wrestling, Lance and Ron Hutchison have done more to help lay the groundwork for the current crop and the previous, kind of trailblazers. Because you look at Ron, he trained Gail Kim. Mm-hmm. He trained Beth.
Yep.
Betty. He trained Trish. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you look at all the people Lance has trained and had, some hand in, And it's nuts. You know, those two guys have done, and I know I'm leaving other people out. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying in terms of like the names and, they've done some serious work for this evolution that is now happening.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So props to those guys. Even
props,
though I know
brother.
You hate it. I know you hate giving
Lance will always be my fucking lackey, whether he likes it or not. Weird short shorts and pulled up socks.
And doesn't drink beer or watch hockey. He's not Canadian. By the way, I also appreciated that when she said host show, she still sounded Canadian.
Yeah, host. The host show.
It was a host show.
Rock the host.
So we rocket strap Drake Maverick. Maverick.
Yeah.
He's with AOP now all of a sudden. Out of nowhere. Go figure.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Drake Maverick.
Yeah. Our booking fee will be forwarded to you. We don't do this shit for free, you know. Rocket strapping is lucrative. Yeah, I guess we do. Do you want to? Speaking of rocket strapping, you want to plug your fucking dates for your one-man show?
Yeah, because I got it wrong last week. It's not an afternoon with now because some of them have to take place on weeknights. So it's an evening with Edge. And so it's October 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Wow.
Respectively. And I believe October 6th is Belfast. October 7th is Dublin. October 8th is Manchester. 9th is Glasgow. I was told I'm saying it wrong. Glasgow.
I just changed it completely.
And now everybody's going to be even hotter at me. And October 10th in London.
Yeah. You know they're flying me in strictly just to come out and slap your ass once on stage and then hit the bricks?
Yeah, you're a strange person. You're so fascinated with my ass. I get it. It's like a little button. I understand. But
anyways.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go.
You do now?
Nah, not really. I'm just done fucking talking to you, man.
Well,
all right. It was good week. Good catching up. I guess next week will be stateside, maybe, right? Maybe.
Right, maybe.
We'll see what happens
when we do it. Yeah.
All right. Hope you hosers enjoyed the show. Great show with Chelsea Green. Not so great having to talk to Adam, but other than that,
I don't like you.